Okay, so let's set this thing at 50 hertz. 50 hertz should be okay. Okay, so here we go. So as you guys are seeing, the subwoofer is sounding loud. Subwoofer is sounding loud, but what if we set the low pass filter lower than 50 hertz? What will happen? Here we go. Oh, that's my car outside and I'm inside my house. This is my door. I'm gonna turn up the volume. You guys can hear the door shaking, bro? Oh my god. Yeah. Increase your bass. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how to get the most out of your subwoofers. If you guys are struggling to get the bass you're looking for, then this video is for you. I'll be giving y'all a couple tips throughout the video. So make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's go right into the video. So the number one tip is your box position. Believe it or not, this is very important and it can change how your bass is playing. Depend on how you position the ports and your subwoofers inside your vehicle. Many people be getting the position of their box wrong in their vehicle. For example, this is a hatchback vehicle. So the most optimal way for me to position my box is port up, subs up. In that way, all the pressure will be keeping inside the vehicle. There won't be any lost pressure throughout the vehicle. Versus, I have this subwoofer here, for example, versus if I had my port like facing the front of the vehicle, it won't be getting me the most out of my subwoofers. Basically, I will be losing a lot of pressure. And what I'll be seeing is that people think that facing a port to the front of your vehicle is the best way to position your box, but in reality that's not the truth. Some vehicle, yes, it may work. Some vehicle, no, it's not going to work. So yeah, it depends on your vehicle. For example, for a sedan vehicle now, the best way to put your subwoofers is port front, subs front, and you can seal off the trunk and get like the maximized bass performance coming out from your subwoofers and your enclosure. In that way, all the pressure will be inside the vehicle. You guys can just play around with your box. You guys can face your port to the hatch, on top, facing forward, and you guys can see which one works out best for you. Number two tip is that you're wiring on your subwoofers. I've been seeing a lot of people wire their subwoofers wrong and they're not getting the bass performance they are looking for. So there's two ways you can wire your subwoofer. There's series and there's parallel. Parallel wiring is where you're lowering your ohm load. For example, if you have a dual 4 ohm subwoofer, if you wire it in parallel, your subwoofer will go down to 2 ohms, which you're lowering your ohm. And it will be pulling more current from out of your amplifier with the parallel wiring. While with series now, if you have the same 4 ohm subwoofer and you wire it in series, it will be raising your ohm load. So the ohm load on this one will be at 8 ohms. So you're raising the ohm load now, making it more higher, and it will be pulling less current coming from your amplifier. If you guys want me to make a video on how to wire your subwoofers, you guys can comment down and let me know so I can make it for y'all. Number 3 tip now is that the incorrect volume space for your subwoofers. Your subwoofers is required to get a certain amount of ear space so that your subwoofer can get the best performance when it comes to it. Some people tend to get like a expensive subwoofer and a cheap enclosure and they expect their bass performance to be the best. It's the opposite. You should be putting most of your work into the enclosure and then you can get a cheap subwoofer or expensive subwoofer or whatever subwoofer. And your bass will be sounding a lot more better than having a cheap enclosure. What we also call a box that doesn't have a lot of ear space is a prefab box. And a prefab box is basically a box. Like the ear space is not meant for your subwoofer. So in that way, your subwoofer won't be playing in the low end frequency with the prefab box, but it will be sounding okay with the higher frequency. So let's say you guys want to be heard from blocks away from your home or a mile away. With a custom enclosure, you can easily design your box for that specification. You can easily tune your subwoofer to the hertz range you guys want your subwoofer to play. So let's say if you guys love setting off car alarms, you guys love shaking house windows, flexing windows, just shaking everything, basically causing an earthquake, you guys can design and tune your box with a custom enclosure so you guys can achieve that the bass you're looking for. You will definitely get the most out of your subwoofers with a custom enclosure. Number 4 tip is incorrect polarity. You have to consider wiring your subwoofers the right way. Negative goes into negative, positive goes into positive, so that your subwoofers won't be sounding off balance and the phase wise won't be off balance, and your subwoofers should be playing the way they should be playing. So here guys, I want you guys to tell me if there's any difference when I wire my subwoofer correctly and when I reverse the polarity on the subwoofer. So I have a battery here as a tester to show y'all the performance. So I'm gonna put the negative on the battery and the positive on the battery, and let me know what y'all see. The subwoofer should be pushing out. As you guys are seeing there, the subwoofer is pushing out. Now I'm gonna reverse the polarity now, flipping over the battery. So the negative is going on the positive on the battery, and the positive from the subwoofer is going on the negative on the battery. Let me know if y'all are seeing any kind of difference. So if you guys didn't notice any difference, I would recommend for y'all to go check the doctor. But the difference wise I was seeing is that with the reverse polarity on the subwoofer was sucking inwards. But with the normal wired subwoofer, the subwoofer was pushing outwards as it should be pushing out. So you guys have to make sure that your subwoofers is wired correctly. Otherwise, if you even make one simple mistake, your bass can be sounding off. It will be sounding off with one simple mistake. So I would consider y'all to check out your subwoofer wiring. Number 5 tip is that you guys can use thicker wire when it comes to your wiring on your speakers and your wiring on your power wires for your batteries and your amplifier. Using thicker wires will carry the current flow easy, and it would prevent a lot of overheating on your wires. So let's say for example, if I was using maybe a 8 gauge wire on my 3000 watts RMS amplifier here, if I was to use a 8 gauge wire, my current won't be flowing the way it should. I would probably burn the wire and I won't even get the full current which my amplifier should be getting. That's with the 8 gauge, the smaller wire. But with the thicker wire now, I can easily get the power and current I want from my amplifier, and there won't be no overheating or any problems with these bigger wires. And the same goes for your speaker wires. You guys can also consider using thicker wires. These wires are okay. These are some 12 gauge OFC wires on my subwoofer, but you guys can consider getting something lower for your subwoofers. If you guys do not have any thicker wires for your subwoofer, you guys can double up 2 wires into one, making it 1 wire, and just wire it normally. That will actually double your wiring. So please don't be cheap on your wiring. Number 6 tip is that getting a bigger amplifier. Let's say that your subwoofer is right here. This subwoofer is 1250 RMS. So let's say I have one subwoofer right here, and let's say I have a 500 RMS amplifier on this subwoofer right here. Off the bat, you guys already know that my subwoofer won't be getting the full performance with that small amplifier. This subwoofer may need like a 2000 RMS amplifier or 1500 RMS or 18, anything above 1500 RMS will be okay, because you guys may have to consider some factors that will affect the power coming from your amplifier, such as box rise. Box rise will make your ohm load a bit more higher. So in that way, your amplifier will be pulling less current by a little bit. And there's also voltage dropping. You try to get like a bigger amplifier over the RMS on your subwoofer so you guys can be on the safe side, so you guys can actually have some power to push your subwoofer. So number 7 tip is that setting your low pass filter on your amplifier is also important. It can mess up your bass performance. It can cut out bass where your subwoofer should be playing, but it's not playing. And usually, this is the low pass filter here. Usually, where people be setting the low pass filter at is at 80 hertz. So let me set this thing at 80 hertz. So with my low pass filter being set at 80 hertz, all the frequency below 80 hertz will be playing on my subwoofer. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. So let's go, guys. Remember that my low pass filter is set at 80 hertz, so I'm gonna play at 80 hertz frequency test tone here to show y'all what I'm talking about. So look at this. So as you guys are hearing there, you guys can hear the 80 hertz. But what if I set my low pass filter a bit lower than 80 hertz? Coming along here, I'm gonna set my low pass filter at 60 hertz now. My low pass filter is set at 60 hertz. I'll be playing the same 80 hertz test tone to see if this hertz will be playing on the subwoofer. So here we go. Here we go. So as you guys are hearing, it's playing, but it's not sounding as loud as it was before. Let's go a bit lower, guys. Let's go at 35 hertz. As you guys are hearing, the 35 hertz is playing. 35 hertz is playing, but what if we set the low pass filter? Oh, it cannot go below 30 hertz, 35 hertz. The lowest is 45 hertz. Okay, so let's set this thing at 50 hertz. 50 hertz should be okay. Okay, so here we go. So as you guys are seeing, the subwoofer is sounding loud. Subwoofer is sounding loud, but what if we set the low pass filter lower than 50 hertz? What will happen? Here we go. So the low pass filter is being set at a little below 45 hertz. So let's play the same 50 hertz test tone to see the performance on the bass now. It's not loud as how it used to be before, guys. So right there I'm losing bass performance on this frequency. But if I set my low pass filter back at 80 hertz now, everything should be sounding the way it should be sounding. It's already sounding loud for what it is right now. So let's go. So setting your low pass filter is actually important. Every settings on your amplifier is very important. You guys have to just consider doing a proper tuning and getting the right equipment for your subwoofers and your speakers, so you guys can actually have a nice sounding sound system where everybody would complimenting you. And you guys can always add some more tips down in the comments below, and I would appreciate that. We are here to help out each other. So yeah, I'm looking out for your comments, guys. I love reading your comments. I love replying to your comments. I love your feedback. I love your support, especially y'all. Yeah, y'all really showing a lot of love lately as well. So I'm gonna catch you guys in my next video. Love y'all, guys. Peace.